Welcome to our Rolemaster Actual play session. Ain't No Place for a Hero is a campaign set in the world of Duyranaki, the continent of men. A gritty, cutthroat world where politics, sorcery, religion, and commerce are all intertwined and reign supreme. Treachery and murder both come cheap, and characters need to be both smart and ruthless to survive. We hope you enjoy our story, and, as always, may the dice roll in your favor.
This is episode 149 of Ain't No Place for a Hero. The party have decided to turn their attention back to the secrets of Tarak Nev, and now find themselves exploring the terrible Dead City. We rejoin our heroes in a desperate fight in a confined tunnel underground, with invisible foes in front and horrific undead robed figures behind. Hello, my name is Chris, and it is my great pleasure to welcome you to our story today. I should have said, my name is Chris, alternatively known in this game as GM Chance, my alter ego. And as I said, welcome to our story today. The story that we're telling, well, you can see its name up on screen. It's called Ain't No Place for a Hero. What exactly is the story? Well, it's a tabletop role-playing game, and we use a system by the name of Rolemaster. Rolemaster is a rather crunchy role-playing system that dates all the way back to the 1980s, and in fact, I have been playing it since the 1980s. The title of the game is Ain't No Place for a Hero, and to tell a good story, you of course need heroes. And up on screen are the 8. It's a large role-playing party. 8 characters which are in play for our game today. In a moment or two, we're going to switch over to the players of the characters, minus 1. We have 4 of our normal 5 players joining us today. We're going to switch over to the players to provide a bit of an intro, answer a couple of questions about their characters, which helps flesh these characters, these alternate personalities, call them what you will, our heroes in the story, out a little bit more. Before we do so, a couple of things. Firstly, just to note, this is episode, I think, 149. We've been playing this game for a long time. We started in July, almost 5 years ago, in July 2020. And it's been an online game, largely an online game since then. We only started recording, however, around episode 60 of this game. So if you haven't already, strongly encourage you to have a look at the very first video in this playlist, which provides a bit of an overview of what had happened previously for those last 60 or so episodes. It's only 5 minutes, but it might be helpful just to get a bit of a sense of what happened previously. Also, down in the description of this video, there's a link to a PDF document with lots of colourful pictures, not a lot of words, which also provides even more flavour and background of what happened. So if you're enjoying these videos, if you're enjoying the story, but you're puzzling a little bit about what may have happened previously, or references to things that might have happened in the past, check out either of those two assets. The other thing that I always say at the beginning of each game is a very warm thank you to all of the people that follow us, that subscribe, that generally provide support and encouragement. we're not too far away from nearly 400 subscribers, which is pretty good. And I'd like to give a hearty welcome to some new subscribers. So, Kit Da Vinci Studio, welcome. Druid 2099, welcome. Full Metal Dragon, Philip C, Francis Fong, Thurk Bond, Corey Easton, Martin Ferrist, and Vakun. To all of you, those are some people that have subscribed to this channel in the last few days. A very warm welcome. Really hope you enjoy our games. The message, I guess, to anybody else who may have either stumbled across this video by accident, or perhaps you've watched a couple of these or whatever and you're enjoying them, really encourage you to take a second or two to click either the like or even better, the subscribe button down below. A couple of seconds from you really does mean a lot to us, and it does help other people like you find our stories. Thanks very much. Right, no more further ado. We are going to hand over, as I mentioned before, to the players of the 8 faces up on screen to tell a little bit more about their character. And today, we're kicking off with Alex. Alex, the mic is yours.
Kia ora, I'm Alex. I play Keros, and Keros also has her hero cat Victory, who plays herself. Great questions. I want to answer all of them. I'm going to answer 1.5. Just quickly, the most memorable experience with a non-human race character is obviously Victory. And I think we can safely say Victory is very much a valued member of the party and has contributed in her own way. But big question I want to answer is, how does your character feel about the concept of destiny versus free will? You don't hear much from Keros from these more philosophical questions, but I think she's a bit quiet about this stuff, but she definitely believes in destiny and certainly the power of nature, and that you might think you have free will, or you might have a wee bit of free will within your choose your own adventure game of life, but ultimately it's foretold for you. You might be able to move a little bit within the path that you're on, but ultimately it's set for you, and nature really is the winner and will come out on top over everything else in the world, and the magic of nature. So that's where she sits on that one.
Excellent. Thank you. Who would you like to hear from next?
Could we hear from Pete, please?
Sure thing. Thanks, Alex. Yeah, interesting. Kia ora, I'm Pete. I'm playing 2 characters today, first of which is Leif. And he would like to answer the same question in sort of a similar way. Well, yeah. Yes, how does your character view the role of chance in fate, or about the concept of destiny versus free will? So he believes in the natural nature, and people's natures as well. He is not a believer of he's not a follower of a religion. He hasn't believed in gods up until recently, but has recently had proof that there are divine beings. He's not quite sure how they all fit into this, because they're not all powerful. And so he doesn't believe in. He understands now. Well, he's understanding more, I think, that there are things that interfere with fate and destiny and things, and influence things, but things just turn out the way they do. And he believes in luck. He believes in. Yeah, he doesn't believe in those that there's necessarily a destiny more than perhaps these odd gods have got can influence. Second character I'm playing is Mythan, and the question I'd like to answer for her is, as Alex answered as well, what's the most captivating? No, not that one. Sorry. What's the most memorable experience your character has had with a non-human race? I'm just going to read from her background. Throughout childhood and adolescence, Smith was absorbed in her education, studying history, philosophy, mathematics, astronomy, religious studies, and the world and religion. At age 12, she had a chance encounter with a sylvan elf in the woods. She frequently, retreated to for solitude. During this brief conversation, her eyes were opened to the reality of cultures different from her own, where people were not always concerned only with gossip and making money. The small town mentality she was used to and lived with. Also, that the world she'd learned about in her history classes was still there, a big and exotic and diverse world, which was fascinating. She wanted to know more, and this sparked her interest in geography and travel. This encounter with the elf also confirmed and strengthened her existing love of the natural world and the peace and beauty to be found in nature. This was obviously an impressionable encounter and left her with the belief of elves being noble, understanding, inspirational, and somewhat perfect beings. That might have been tempered somewhat by subsequent experiences, but she still has that as a default belief that elves are somehow special.
Okay.
Because it gave her an out from the sort of the rubbish. Her sort of childhood, which was not ideal.
Got it. Excellent.
Can we please hear from Graham?
Thanks, Pete. Playing a few characters. I'll answer some for Etienne, or one. How does your character feel about the concept of destiny versus free will? I don't think he doesn't believe there is a thing called destiny. It's pretty clear to him, at least, that events are being fought out. It's not predetermined, and indeed the deities seem to be at war with each other. If the deities can't lay down fate, well, who can? So I think it's all to play. It's all there on the roll of the dice, and he feels like it's all hanging in the balance, which is why he takes it so seriously. So yeah, that's his take on the world. Can I pass over to Giles?
Oh, and just to note, you are kindly picking up Aiden's character, Gray, this evening. Aiden can't join us this evening. Sorry, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. This morning.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
And just probably a chat about Ningwen at some point.
Ningwen?
The bird.
Oh, yep. Now?
Oh, no, whenever. I just wasn't sure where she was. I assume she's flying around outside the temple, but I just wanted to...
Ningwen just seems to disappear, doesn't she? I don't know. We should probably check.
I don't think she'd be in the passageway anyway.
She'd probably be back at the temple. I think that would be a fair call. Yes, so she's back up above. Yes, let's go with that. Unless Aiden violently... Well, actually, he doesn't control her, so yes. Ningwen, the hawk, would be up in the temple above. Done. Good call. Good shout. And yes, over to Tarquin. Thanks, Graham.
Thanks. Yeah, so I'm playing two characters, Tarquin, an elf, and I guess he'll be elfing at the moment. I'm going to answer the two characters that sort of the two questions that sort of go together. So, how does your character feel about the role of chance and fate? Well, he's young, doesn't like to think that chance or fate is a real thing. Likes to think he's in control, but somewhat opposed to that. How does he feel about the concept of destiny? Well, he believes in the gods and kind of thinks his path is set, so he can't really veer from that despite trying to, and they are contradictory, but that's life when you're young and a bit dumb. And I'm also playing Demos, and I'm not brave enough to answer a question for him.
Yes, so that's Aiden's other character that you're kind of picking up. So thank you, Giles. That's it. That's the team. So named and up on screen in colour in all their glory, and with their names underneath. That's who's in play today. One thing to note: Graham's character Neathanol is, let's just go with unwell, is incapacitated. So that's the other face, the eighth and final face up on the screen. Now is the time we turn to Pete to provide us a very quick, well, maybe not so, but certainly an update for last session. Both Giles and Alex weren't present at the last session, so they may have some questions. And also, before we begin, there's a couple of things I want to mention. One on both Mithan and the other one on Etienne. So, Pete, take it away, please.
Thank you. So, we are in Taraknev, City of the Dead. We are looking for the Defiler's Bane, I believe. The sword we hope is going to help kill the fellow who's going to be becoming the Rite of Aza. We're not. If we can't stop that, right? The way we'd like to stop the Rite is by killing Irene Chonta, so that's also who we're looking for. So she's the head of the New Enlightenment movement. Yes. Who we also believe is somewhere in Taraknev. So two reasons for being here. We'd been in the temple to I always forget her name, Orgiana, and we'd found a tunnel underneath, sort of hidden. And we'd gone down the tunnel, a very narrow tunnel, and found a very odd room with these 5 corpses in it, wizened and desiccated people, and moved on down this tunnel a little bit, found a couple of secret areas, and at the beginning of last session we'd just been exploring the second of these secret areas, which was where there was a person who had been changed to a pillar, and yeah, was, well, obviously there was a skeleton there. The beginning of that session, we then continued down the corridor. So it's sort of in a U shape, the corridors. We came down some stairs past the Seed People's room. Yeah, it's sort of hard to see. It's quite dark on that map, but went around the corner and we went past, I think, 2 shrouded
Yes.
Bodies, I think, like an altar or a sort of a stone slab, and just in nooks to the side of the hallway, we'd passed 2 of these, seeming to be covered over with some sort of a sheet or some sort of cloth. We got to we were sort of strung out because the corridors are so long, but Nathaniel and Etienne, I believe, were the ones at the front, got to the final corner, and at the end was a door, and I believe 2 more nooks with bodies on slabs. 3 there.
1,
So 3, 2. Awesome. I think at that point, Nathaniel had a wee peek under one of the shrouds, and there was nothing there. So it was hanging in the shape of a person, I believe, but nothing, no person underneath that we could see. It's a little bit odd. Did some investigating and perceiving. Tarquin felt he heard something about the monster. He was a tail-end Charlie. He was a guy at the very end. He thinks he heard something, some movement from the monster upstairs, perhaps, because we'd fled down here due to a big beastie bashing in a wall of the temple. Gray was doing some sniffing, and I think we had a wee discussion here about how everything in the city is just wrong. Feels just, there's something off about everything. Not particularly more down here, I think, was the conclusion he came to, but just the things in the city are just off. Yeah, it's a very strange place. We decided then that Brave Nathaniel was going to continue ahead, and she did so, I believe, with just Etienne being able to see her. And my notes say something happens when Nathaniel approaches the door. At that point, Nathaniel went into a separate room and played things out. But what we heard from Etienne, who could see, was that she was drawn. Somehow the door opened as she approached, and she was somehow drawn into the room. All we had from her was magnet death. So not encouraging. At around that same time, I believe. But yes, she seemed to be pulled in, I think was the description. At the same time, about then, Mithan, I think it was, noticed that one of those shrouds sort of started twitching. And we were a bit concerned about that. Leif started getting all his metal stuff off and intending to run into that room to see if what he could do for Etienne. But these shrouds did start. More people noticed that there was something happening with these shrouded bodies on these stone slabs, and I think Keros ice bolted one, the one near her, didn't seem to have any effect that we know of. And then she sort of, Tarquin attacked one, and Mithan attacked one too. I think Mithan managed, she feels she connected with something, I think. Please correct me if I'm wrong, Chris.
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
I thought
Sorry, what was that?
did he attack one with a magic dagger?
I think
believe
Tarquin
not.
I think it was a magic weapon. Yes.
Okay.
Then there was this terrible shriek from towards the door, and that wasn't the ethanol. And in game terms, everyone made a channeling resistance roll. Not everyone passed it, and those who didn't pass it took hits. So there was this terrible shriek. And wonderfully, Tarquin hears another sound from up the corridor we've just come down, that of a sound of a door opening. Wonderful. So we've got this shriek stuff happening. A second shriek happened, and I believe there was was 5 shrieks basically. And I believe at sort of about that point, the shrouds sat up. The bodies on these slabs sat up, and the shrouds sort of fell off, and there was nothing there. But so we're assuming, and I think if there were 5 there, the shrieks are coming from whatever was on these stone slabs, and Tarquin has turned and has seen, turned and saw the 5 people that were dried out and dead sitting around the table in the room that we first passed. Yeah, lovely. Not particularly friendly looking people. They were coming down this very narrow corridor. And I've actually lost track of exactly where everyone went from there, because I'm not sure where Tarquin... I know Mithan moved into the side room. Oh, Tarquin's in the middle to attack them. That's right.
Tarquin is on point. Tarquin is the front line.
Yeah. No, the Etienne has moved past everyone to so he was sort of at the front of the party, but he is moving down, squeezing past people in this narrow corridor, because the message was passed that these skeletal deady people, and Etienne and Grey have moved down there. Leif finished getting rid of his metal stuff and ran towards the door and had a look down that corridor. He didn't quite get to the end there, and I think, what did we say? And saw Nathaniel incapacitated at the end there, I think, which was really a really awful sight. And
Incapacitated.
Yeah.
So just to help frame that up, the lantern is miraculously still lit. Nathaniel is through the door. You can see the door there, and there's a crack in the door there. Nathaniel's, there's this metal, not quite sure, but there's this slab of something, and those there are spears that is pointing out, facing the door, and Nathaniel is impaled on one or more of those spears. Her head is down, and she's bleeding. She's not moving.
Did you have a bad week last week, Chris?
Yeah. So Leif decided, he wants to go and help his friend, but there are other pressing matters, so he's rearmed himself. Another thing that happened was Mithan had moved to the end to sort of face these dead people, and they sort of raised their finger and pointed at her, which is quite rude, and broke her arm. Somehow, or damaged her arms, cast some sort of spell. So she's at a bit of a minus, and a bit, sort of a bit scared, really. I think it's fair to say. Just final comment is, I think as we were coming down here, we were all going, "It's going to be a trap. It's going to be a trap," but we still came down.
What was your choice? Stay up above?
What was the choice? Thank you. Yes.
Perfect. There are a couple of things that I want to touch on, as I mentioned. One with Mithan, come back to that, and one with Etienne. But before we continue, just quickly where people are. So Leif has picked up his sword and shield. Keros is here. Demos, who is not in a good way, is here. Etienne is here. Demos, who's not in a good way, is here. Grey is here. Tarquin is on the front line, armed with a dagger. Mithan is in this little room. Just make him out there. That's where we begin. Any questions from anybody? Anything that's not clear about that?
Are we in rounds, Chris? Or not?
Oh yes, well and truly, yes, it's combat.
It-
40,
Can we
40 seconds has. So since the door opened, 40 seconds has elapsed.
recap where the rest of the stone slabs and shroudy things were?
Sure. I might
So
just
it's
lighten.
just the orientation of this corridor, I think, is important.
Yeah, I might just lighten that a little bit. So you can see there the room that these people were in. The one stone slab is here. The second one is here. Third is here. Not that some characters know this. Fourth is here, and fifth is here. And the stairs that you came down are here. There was this secret room that you discovered here with the skeleton here. There was the table with the people here, and there was this tiny little closet effectively here. And Neathanel has continued. So I'll just reveal too much, so we'll just do that. And that's the door that Neathanel has gone through here. Does that make sense?
Sorry, Chris, can I check a couple of things?
So your description of a U-shape, Pete, is very accurate. Yes, Giles.
Has either Demos won't if he doesn't cast spells. Has Tarquin prepped at all? No prep.
Graham kindly played Tarquin last time, and I believe he hasn't prepped. He's just using a dagger, I think. But correct me if I'm wrong.
No, he was because he was at the back. So yeah, he was sort of first into combat.
Cool. And so you talked about shrouds. So these are like bits of cloth that are over these. There are 5 of them, but there are also these 5 dudes coming down the corridor. But they seem separate or somehow joined, or don't know.
There were 5 slabs. They looks like. Do I have an image? Yes, I put an image here. Just give me a second to see if I can find this. It's actually, if you go into the Discord some time back.
Into the main game.
No, I didn't. I haven't put a. I haven't. There were shrouds. They were in a human-like form. Actually, I wonder if I can. Yeah.
So as Pete described, like floating but sheets
hang on.
in a human shape, but with nothing underneath.
One second. Yeah, so you went here last time, so this might help a little bit. Just take a screenshot. Almost there. Yeah, that's good. That's really good. Perfect. Okay. What you know, and this is potentially a doctored image from me, so who knows if there are other hidden passageways or something. So this is not gospel, but this is the layout of the thing. But what you have seen, this is what your characters know, is this. Coming to main game chat.
Okay, that's extremely helpful. Thank you.
Yep. So.
And we have no idea about the void in the middle.
No. Oh well, it appears to be so.
The corridor Neathanel's gone down as the one with the 3 shrouds. Yep.
That's it. So Pete's description of a U shape is bang on. That's exactly it. So hopefully that helps. Okay. Any other qualifying questions? Anything else before we?
Yeah.
Close? Yep.
I don't know if it was mentioned there, but Etienne had cast inspirations on the party.
Yes, he had. So that's plus 10 to all rolls. Is that right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Cool. Great. Yes. Good shout. Anything else, folks? Nope. Okay. All right.
Sorry, Chris. One last thing. Have these 5 spooky characters spoken, said anything, made any noise?
No. So you can see those 5 So the 5 shrouds, there was a covering, and exactly as Pete described, Niathanel looked underneath the covering, and there was nothing there. And then, around about the time that Niathanel went through the door and there was a horrible noise in her direction, the shrouds started to lift up as though a body was sitting up, and the shrouds have now fallen flat as though there's nothing underneath.
And these 5 spooky characters have appeared in the corridor.
Correct, and they have Tarquin heard and saw the door open, and these 5 people, who were presumably the people sitting around the table, have arrived and are doing unpleasant things. And you can see them there in a conga line, right in front of Tarquin. Any other questions? I might show. Any way for me to easily show our viewers that image? Yeah, maybe. I'll do this. No, I won't do this. No, never mind. Yeah. Any other questions, guys? Nope. Okay. So let's go on to 2 things that we discussed off camera. The first is, we'll give you a little bit longer to think, Pete. The first is going to Etienne. So in Rolemaster, a core function of the game is if you get a serious injury, and a serious injury is termed a penalty of more than 51 or above, an injury that bleeding 10 hits around, and serious problems to your body, there is a chance, a small chance, but a chance that there may be a permanent injury. So that injury is bad enough that it might result in a permanent injury. For either medium or light injuries, there's no risk of a permanent injury. Several sessions ago, for those that were listening closely, Etienne had some bad luck. Was in a building elsewhere in this awful dead city of Tarak Nev, and the building collapsed on him. And as a result, he got a badly crushed wrist here, badly crushed. It was repaired, courtesy of both some good work from Mithan and Keros, but at the time I neglected to ask for a permanent injury check. We're going to do that now, but as we discussed off camera, it would be kind of unfair to suddenly just dump a permanent injury on this character mid-combat. So the way we're going to try to kind of hand-wavy it is to say maybe he was fine initially, but then this injury has crept in potentially after this fight. The good news from Etienne's perspective is to succeed, he has to get his his constitution, which is a whopping 90, and he rolls a dice. I just want to check the results. Yeah. In such cases, the character rolls an open-ended D100 roll and adds their full constitution stat, not the bonus. If the result is greater than 100, the character suffers no permanent injury. So the moment of truth, please, Graham. Can you roll a dice, add on your constitution, and if you top 100, if you're 101 or better, you're fine.
We definitely haven't done this before, right? Because we had this conversation about a month ago.
We have had the conversation. We haven't made the roll.
Yeah.
We never made the roll.
91.
91. He's fine. Not an issue. We will do the same. So not a problem at all. There's no the wrist has healed, and there is no problem for Etienne. We'll do the same thing for Demos because of the really bad injury that he suffered to muscles in his leg with the spiny critter that fired spines at him, when Aiden is with us for our next session, which is on Wednesday. But a bit unfair to ask someone to roll on behalf of Aiden. So we'll do that for Aiden too, because that was another serious injury that we missed. The other thing that we're going to address...
Can I just check?
Go for it, Giles.
So I was just going to say, so Demos's constitution is 101, so we can't roll minus, can he?
Yes, he can. Yep, he can.
Oh, okay.
Because remember, in Rolemaster, we have open-endeds.
Oh, one or two, yeah.
Yep. So no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you roll a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you typically in this game, not always, but you typically roll again going down. So absolutely, he's highly unlucky, but yeah, you can do it. Yep. Potential. The other thing that we're going to do a redo on, and I was saying off camera to the team that I typically don't like redos. If it's already happened, it's canon. However, this was a mistake on my part. Pete, as you described, Mithan has a very painful left arm. That was actually my mistake because the spell wasn't just limbs; it was actually any bone in a character's body. And when we talked about offline, your decision if you would like to do a redo to actually see where that result was. So it may not be her left arm; it could be a tiny bone in her ear, for example, or a tiny bone in her foot. But it could also be one of her lower, her tibula or her fibula or something else that would have a much larger penalty than she has now. So, hey, guess what? It's a chance. But you make the decision. So you can either stick with the injury that you have now, or you can roll again. What's your call, please?
Can I just double check? It wouldn't be death.
Would not be death. Definitely not. Definitely not. No death. You will end up with a very painful location wherever it is, and you may be at a minus or something else. You will definitely not die. 100%.
Okay. I was thinking I wouldn't, but then let's do it. It's a game of chance.
It is a game of chance. Yep. All right. So when you're ready, give me a roll, please. So it's a D. It's a D 206.
I just want to do it for rolling a D 206. Lucky 53.
53.
I didn't even get a 200 number.
I don't know what 53 is. I'm going to put my chart up on the in front of you, and we can look together. Here we go. Here's my chart. So you could have got a frontal bone in the skull and got a negative 25. She's currently at negative 30. You rolled a 53. It's a rib.
Okay. Fuel.
Could have been.
That's a really cool chart.
It could have been.
There's negative 50. Yeah.
Right.
Cool. Okay.
So Mithan, we have, courtesy of that roll, we have just redone it. Mithan, you are no longer at negative 30. You're actually at negative 10. There's a pain in your chest around your rib cage, but instead of negative 30, you're at negative 10. So
stop me from being really scared.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool. Thank you, and thank you for the advice from people who know about bones.
Excellent. We are ready to begin. If you're sitting comfortably, if you're as nervous as I am to see what on earth is going to happen here, cross your fingers, guys, because this could be a gnarly one. Buckle up. When you're ready, let's start the game. We are straight into rounds. We are rolling initiative. It's been a little bit longer than 40 seconds since the door opened. It's probably been about a minute. But the actual combat has been going, fighting has been happening for 40 seconds. We are rolling initiative. We are off with initiative. The first person to act is Grey Rufflet. Grey, you are standing right here, just around the corner. You've seen Mithan seconds ago jump into this room. You've heard Tarquin cry out. Obviously, you haven't seen what he's seen. What do you do, Grey?
He's been preparing, hasn't he? I wasn't playing him last time.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Let's go with that. I'm happy to say, yeah, I think he probably was. He does tend to. So yes, I would say he's prepared full 3 rounds.
So, could he cast this round if he pokes his head round the corner, or is that not pokeable?
Could he poke his head around the corner? Yeah, sure. I mean, it's
And
it's
cast, I mean.
yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it's a distance of nothing. A foot. He could peer around the corner, and cast and step back if he wanted to. If that's
So
what
he'd
you're
like
saying.
to cast a wall between Tarquin and the. What he's looking to do is block the zombies that are coming down the passage, essentially. He just needs to know whether he can do that between Tarquin and the
Yep.
Wobblies.
So I would ask. Hang on. So to do that, I would ask for a perception roll. He'll have a bonus on it. Mithun very cleverly put a lantern there, so there is light, but he isn't familiar with the environment. So I would ask for a 10% perception roll for him to spot. He'll get a plus 20 to this roll. If he succeeds on that, and it's not masked. If he succeeds on that with a plus 20, he's taken in the perspective, and I'll actually go one stage further. It doesn't have to be a success. If you get either a partial success, a near success, or a success, you've gained enough information in that quick second or so to understand the situation, and then you can cast a wall.
Right.
So he pokes his head around.
89.
89. It's a good roll. What's his perception, please?
49.
49. Doesn't have a good perception. However, it was a good roll. Plus 20. Well and truly, that's more than a success. So Gray, you stick your head around the corner. The distance between Tarquin and this thing in front of him is 2 foot. But so there is a distance. It's kind of that. The critter's that close to him. But yes, there is a distance.
Okay. So I could put a wood wall that's 2 foot wide in front of him.
Yes.
Yeah, he'd like to cast that then.
Okay. Give me a roll, please. You're prepared for 3 rounds. You've got plus 20 to the roll. Give me a roll, please.
81.
81. Fails on a 1 or a 2. Where's my sound effects? Fine. Just give me 1 sec to sort this out. It's brown. It's brown enough. There you go. Success! Nice work, Gray. Just
Cool.
a sec. Just Shunk. Boomfa. That is exactly what happens. The wood wall, Tarquin, you're standing right there, and suddenly there, literally right in front of your nose, the slab of wood just appears. Boom. Gray, you looked for 10% action. Casting is 75. You've got 15 left, whatever it is.
He says to the party, Grey cast wall in front of zombies.
Nice. Okay, excellent. next up is Lake.
Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry.
Uh,
Right.
Yep. Just before you continue, Leif, can I please ask you to make a passive perception? And I'll ask Gray to do the same thing.
73.
Cool. And Gray, I should have asked you initially as well. Can you please do the same?
Sorry, what am I doing? Casting.
Just passive perception. Basically, just you're not doing this. It's if you notice something, or something happens to you. So just
I can't use the roll, perception roll I just rolled.
no, different.
No. 18.
Team. Okay, cool. Very good. Thank you. Leif. Yep. Floor's yours.
So he will have heard Gray. Yep.
Yes. Yep.
He's lost hits. He has. Well, he's heard the shrieks. I'm just doing my reasoning out loud. He knows the bodies aren't there any longer. Sorry, next question. The shrieks are coming from a spot, aren't they? A direction.
They are coming from different directions. Yes.
Yeah, cool. He would like to attack the space in front of him.
Like-
above the stone pillar. No, not a back attack on Keros. No.
So here.
Yeah, like to. Yeah, where the.
Yeah.
I mean, just. Yeah. And he's figuring that's where the shrieks are sort of located. Like, if we can tell, I know it's hard to tell where a sound's coming from sometimes, but he's figuring.
He can try a perception roll if he hears a shriek.
How would that work in terms of his activity percentage?
He can pause if he wants to, and he could wait. I mean how this is a classic opportunity action. He would say, I will wait, listen with X amount, and then try to identify if I hear a sound. If I hear a sound, I will try to target where I think I heard the sound from.
Yeah, that's great, because of course he could wildly slash, but that's a negative. If he can identify where it's from, that's going to improve his attack, right?
Potentially, yeah. If he's
Yes, thank you.
if he's successful in doing that.
Yeah, thank you for that help. Yeah, he will yes, do exactly that. 30% for a perception,
Yep.
based on a shriek that he feels he can locate.
Yep.
Yep, and then he would like to use the rest of it, 70% to attack. If there's no shriek that he can locate this round, he'll just use 100% to attack the space above the stone slab.
Done.
Cool. Thank you.
Cool.
Helpful.
Next up is interesting. A wood wall is now in the way.
We keep quiet that much, think we've disappeared.
No, object permanency, whatever it's called.
How long does Can you tell me a little bit more about the wood wall, please, Graham? How long does it last? If it's got hit points, something like that.
It lasts. Right. Obviously, you can cancel it.
Yep.
Creates a wall of wood up to 10 by 20 by 2. Must rest on a solid surface. Burned through 50 hits. Or chop through 20 man rounds.
Cool. That's super helpful. Thank you. All right. Very, very good. I think that will do nicely. Maybe. Hang on. Love this about this game. You don't don't know what your players are going to do, and as a result of you not knowing what your players are going to do, you've got to sometimes change tack. That's part of the fun of it. Okay, I think that's what's going to happen. Yes. And yes. Okay. Okay. Moving on. Again, one of those awful, awful screeches. Leif will resolve the effect of this in a second because it happens right now, and then we'll come to your opportunity action. Oops. Oh. It's my screen. Okay. We've done this several times before, and it might get a little bit repetitious, but we'll get into a groove of doing this each time. We are going. So these are when you hear a scream like this, and when I ask for it, I'm going to be interested in a channeling resistance roll. This one will affect all. Just have a look. Just have a look at something. Yeah. This one affects everybody bar Tarquin and Mithan. So everybody bar Tarquin and Mithan for this one. We'll just go down the conga line. So we're starting with Leif. Leif, what level are you, please?
He's 9.
9. Cool.
Yeah. Because we haven't slept since he went up to 10th.
Correct.
Yep, right.
Okay. So you've got to beat, Leif. You've got to beat an 87.
87?
Mm-hmm.
He rolled a 60 and he's got a channeling of 10.
Cool. Leif, agonizing pain in your head, and you take another 10 of your precious hit points.
Cool.
You're on 129. Going down the conga line, the next is Keros. You are what level, please?
10th level.
10th level. You have to beat a 84, please.
Okay. Sorry, my keyboard's a bit sticky.
No worries.
Oh, I rolled a 12.
No. Keros, you were on 31 hits. You're now on 21 hits.
Dear.
You are going to have penalties because you're in this game. If you lose less than 25% of your hits, you're at -10. If you lose 50 or less, you're at -20. If you lose 75% of your hits, you're at -30. So Keros is feeling very wobbly, and she is not going to be performing well. The next on the conga line is Etienne. It's slightly different for Etienne because he is wearing metal armor. What level is Etienne, please?
8.
You've got to beat 85, please, Etty.
85, Jesus. No. Oh,
Okay.
hang on, plus.
Plus your channeling.
No, 75.
It's close. No cigar. Etienne, you're now on 107 hits. Next in the conga line is poor Demos. Demos, what level are you, please? 8th, I believe. And
Yeah, that's correct. He's level 8.
Yep, and I realise that you're playing someone else's character, so appreciate that.
I know, I'm low with this too.
Yep, you've got to beat 80, please, Demos, with his channeling plus his
Got to
channeling.
beat 180. And in fact, his channeling
Does.
is -1, so he has to beat 181.
He does.
And he rolled 95. He
Roll
might
again,
do it.
roll
He gets
again,
to
roll
read it.
again, roll again.
Oh, so 181. So he needs another 90. Can he explode the zombies if he gets it? Oh, 5.
5. So close, but yet so far. Really sorry, Demos. You take another 10 hits, and you are now on 37. You were very close to passing it. Next is down the conga line, and last in the conga line is Grey. What level is Grey, please? I think he's 8th as well.
Yeah.
8 versus 8, that's 50. Right, Grey, the toughest to beat, you've got to beat 90, and you beat 90, Grey.
Suspect not. $37.
37, it's another 10 hits on Grey. Grey, you are now on 92 hits. Next to act is Mithan. Mithan, you've just heard the scream from down the way. You've got a very sore rib. You may have just noticed out the door a wood wall appear. What do you do?
Thank you. She is going to prepare this round.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. She will say, I can't remember if she had shared this already. She might well have, but the shriek. I attacked a shrieker and I did damage to a shrieker. Basically, that's what she'll say.
Okay.
She's sort of yelling that down the hallway.
Cool.
Yep. And so she will, and then and she'll say, "Oh, nice one to Grey."
Excellent. Very, very good. And she's preparing.
It's just preparing. Yeah.
Next, okay, you'll be doing that. You, both Mithan and Tarquin, you hear behind the wood wall the sound of muffled shouting.
Do I recognize the language, Chris?
You don't. What do the rules say? The rules say full cover. Detected but not sighted. Nah. I'm gonna play it safe. Keros, you're next to act. And Keros, can I ask for a passive perception roll from you, please?
Sure, I can do that. Oh, dear, 1,000. That would be nice. Oh, 100?
Hundreds.
Is that right?
Okay.
No, I didn't. Did I roll right? Hang on, let me just check that. I don't think I rolled that right, did I?
Oh,
Result total?
No, you didn't. You didn't.
That
That doesn't
look
have to
right.
be 100. No.
Sorry, my keyboard is.
Yeah, it is very sticky.
Roll D100. There we go. 37.
3-7. Thank you. Okay. Cool. Kiros, what do you do?
Well, she was just going to do perception because she can't do anything else really.
Okay. Yeah.
Just can I just do a 10% and then can I hold action till the end to cast
Sure.
if needed?
Yes.
Can I do that?
Yep. Of course.
Cool. Okay. I'm trying to avoid my keyboard. D doesn't like to. 8, and perception is plus 35.
Okay. You don't see or hear or nothing, Kiros, fortunately. Nothing other than what you can see or hear on screen.
Okay, thank you.
And you're also at a negative 20 because of your lack of hits.
Great.
Thought you'd like that. Are you actually... Hang on. You're actually less than 50%? You're at 21 out of 21 out of 41. No. Not quite. Not quite. So you're negative 10.
Half a point.
Yeah, half a point
Then I'm
away.
at 50%.
Okay.
I'm watching that.
Yeah, I bet you are. Okay, next to act.
Sorry. Can I jump in? Did Leif do a perception for the shriek? Or...
Oh, sorry. Yes. Give me a roll, please.
Oh, 50.
50, bang on. 50, bang on. And what's his roll, please? What's his perception, please?
57.
Cool. Some information coming into your chat in a 1 second. Just switch my screen. Spell shriek. Info in your chat now.
Oh, thank you. Can he... So, is that enough information for him to make an attack in that area?
He can try. Yep.
So it's sort of, he feels he's got a better idea of where it came from.
I think so. Yep.
Yep, yeah, he'd like to do that, please.
Okay.
And he would also like to say what he's doing.
He's got. Well, he's perceived for 30%. You've got 3 words free. What do you do with your remaining 70%?
He will do an attack in the area he thinks he heard it from, and he'll say, I think here.
Okay.
And demonstrate where by attacking it.
Okay. Give me a roll. This is a 70% attack. So 1 1 second. So get ready, please, to give me what 70% of your attack will be. 1 second. Now you're using this is in a confined space.
Yeah, true.
So where did I put my confined space rules? Yeah, here we go. Medium weapon, which is a medium weapon. He's at -25. You can't. If you had a short blade like Tarquin or others, you'd be fine. But you have a -75 to this roll. There isn't a lot of room to wave a longsword around.
A -25. Sorry, you said.
-25.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool.
So
Cool.
on that. That
Don't forget +10.
+10.
Oh, thank you.
Yep.
I did.
Give me a roll.
I was going to put it into his chat. Oh, 75.
70. Oops, wrong one. Hang on. Sorry, I just clicked the wrong baddie. That's better. 75 was the roll.
Yes.
75. Cool. And including the negative. Whoops. Software didn't like that. There we go. Now, what's 70%, please, of his skill?
83.
83 minus 25 for swinging the long swords, however modified by very helpful +10 from Etienne. You make a swing just through complete midair and you touch nothing.
Oh.
After all that, you swing. I mean, it's really close and compact in here. Ceiling's not that high. It would be maybe 15 foot, so a bit above you, and you leap up behind you and you strike up behind you and you hit just the air.
Thank you.
Next. Next, Tarquin. Your turn. Before you do anything, however, Tarquin, and I meant to do this last session when Graham was playing you, and I forgot, so you got a freebie. But this time, please, can you, because I remembered, can you please make a channeling resistance roll? And it's just 1 second. And what level are you, please, Tarquin?
9.
9. Cool. Okay. Do you want to know? What you have to beat?
Yep.
You got to beat a 64.
Oh dear.
What did you roll?
I didn't do that.
Okay.
I rolled 14.
14. Where you're
plus 23.
plus
anyway,
yep.
Less than 64.
It is. Where you're standing, Tarquin, and this was happening the last few rounds, and I should have done it, but let's assume that you actually passed the resistance roll, but this time you didn't. Tarquin, this sense of just cold dread of the grave just envelops you. And I'd like you to make a roll of 1d4 and let me know the result, please.
Exclamation D4.
Yep.
4.
Tarquin, you feel this chilling cold, and it's quite humid and quite sticky down here. It's chilling cold washing over you, and this cold reaches deep inside you into your very essence, into your very soul, and yanks some of your warmth and your very, very essence out of you. Mechanically wise, Tarquin, you take 4 hit points normally, you also take 4 from your temporary constitution. So your actual constitution has gone down. So you were on
88. Now I'm on 84.
No. You were on 79 because you had this happen to you previously, so your total had gone down to 79. You were on 73. Your temporary was on 73 minus 4. You're on 69 hits. Your actual maximum hits you can get, your actual constitution, goes down by 4.
Yep.
Correct.
Yeah.
Of this chilling sense of the grave coming over you. Okay. You can act. Tarquin, what do you do?
Can I just check, Chris? The language he heard these people speak,
Yes.
and can I check the language they spoke was definitely not Akan, Kisnel, or Platon?
It's not a language he knows.
Okay. He's going to prep for 90%.
Okay.
And he's going to step back into the room Nathan's in, so he's going to get as far away from this wood wall as he can for the other 10%.
Okay. So he pushes past Mathan, and where does he move to?
Yeah. Keep going. Back. Yeah.
Okay. Very good. If he's preparing, however, he can only move 6 foot.
7 feet.
Yep, 7
Correct.
feet, which is here.
Okay.
So that's the maximum he can move.
Okay. Give Nathan a cuddle, but he knows she doesn't like that stuff.
She's not a coupler. Is our
He'll just look elven, I guess.
friend. Excellent. There is another of these awful sounds. And we will just go down the conga line again. Let's start with Leif. You are what level, please?
9th.
9th. You have to beat a 17.
Oh man, this is 100. So yeah, he does.
Cool. Keros, you are 10th. You have to beat a 14, please.
Okay. $82.
Fine. Next is Etienne. You exactly the same result for you. You've got no, you're 8th, I think. Is that right?
Etienne
Yep.
is 8. Yeah.
Yep. You got to beat a 20, Etienne.
Yep.
Great. Demos is also 8th. You've got to beat a 22, Demos.
That's a hard fail.
It's a fail for Demos, including his channeling.
Yeah, it's a hard. Yeah, it's a hard fail. He's at minus 100, so
Yeah.
it's a hard fail.
Sure. Oh yes, and thank you, and that's a negative. That should have been a negative. Damn it, I forgot to include the negative for Keros. Lucky Keros. That is a... Poor Demis is on 27 hits. Next is Grey. Grey, what are your hits like? You're on 92 out of 122, percentage-wise. Anybody good with maths? Is that less than 75? I think it is. Yes, it will be. So you're at negative 10 for this roll. Grey, you are 8th level, I believe. you've got to beat, please, Gray, a 20 yourself, but you're at negative 10 because of your lack of hits. Gray, that's Graham.
Sorry, I've got to roll. Sorry. What do I have to beat?
You've got to beat a 20, but you're at negative 10 for the roll because of your lack of hits.
Do I get my plus 10 on that?
Yes, you do. Yep, everybody gets their plus 10.
So 34, assume makes that.
Makes it. Gray's fine. We'll go to Mithan next. Mithan, you are on 157. You're at negative 10 to this roll because of your sore rib. I don't believe you're at negative 10 because of your lack of hits. Give me your... you are negative... What level are you, please?
She's 10th, and she's got plus 10.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool, 44. So that plus 10 cancels it out. 44. You've got to beat a 14.
Her channeling's 30. Yep.
She can always screw it up. with it.
Could roll down.
Yep.
Yep, 28.
She's fine.
Good.
And then lastly, Tarquin. Tarquin, you have a negative 25 to this roll. What level are you, please?
And
8th. Cool. You've got to beat a...
9. He's
Nine.
9. Chris, he's 9.
Okay. You've got to beat a 17. 17 minus 25 and then plus your channel.
Plus 10. Does he get anything for his channeling, or is it just a roll?
No, his channeling resistance roll. His channeling resistance.
Okay, and he's got to beat what? So he's 12
17.
plus 23 is whatever that is. Okay, 23, 33, 35, 25. His total is 25.
He passes. He's fine.
Well, fine as a relative concept. Yeah.
It is. Demos. What do you do, please? You are not feeling great.
I think, did Demos see where Leif attacked? Because I didn't see it indicated on the map.
Yeah, sure. Leif said over here, and Leif has now got his back to the party. That's probably as much as Demos knows.
Okay, and Demos is there. So Demos is just going to perceive all he's worth to see if he can see any of these bad guys.
Okay, give me a roll, please. Fighting through the pain.
77 minus 100 plus. Where's his perception? 1 second. Wait, does he not have a perception skill?
He does. It's pretty modest, I think. I think it's 50.
Here we go. Yeah, here we go. 50. This 100. Okay, so
No, he doesn't.
23. So 23 is his total.
No, he doesn't see or hear anything, unfortunately.
Okay,
It's got
that's all he's going to do.
Okay. Next up is... Again, I wish there was some way of making this less repetitive, but okay. We're going to just completely rinse and repeat. Leif, 8th level? No, 9th level.
9th level, yeah.
9th level. So you need to beat a 2, Leif. Now, bearing in mind, now has he lost? I'll actually leave it up to people to put on their own negatives for loss of hits. Yes.
He's not below a quarter down. He's not below a quarter down.
Cool, and he's fine. So on Keros, I'll ask you to put on your own negative for your lack of hits, Keros. You are 10th. The same for you. You've got to beat a 2, please, with that roll.
85.
You're fine. Etienne, you've got get a plus 40 to that. You're 8th level. Etienne, you've got to beat a 5.
Yep.
Cool. Demos with his negative 100. You have to beat a. Coming. You got to beat a 15, Demos. Might be doable.
No.
No. Demos, you take
Plus 10.
plus 10.
Yeah, no, I got the plus 10. Yeah.
Oh, he succeeded with the plus 10?
No, it's a fail.
It's a fail. Cool. Demos, you take another 10 hits. You are now on 17 hits.
Ah,
You're
this is getting itchy.
very close to passing out.
What happens at 0, Chris?
You fall unconscious.
Oh, you don't die, you just fall unconscious.
Gray, you are 8th level. And you are not wearing armor. Gray, you've got to beat a 5, bearing in mind any penalties you might have for lack of hits. And your plus 10. How'd you go, Gray? Hello, Graham.
Roll 1.
1, roll again, please.
No, hang on. 31
Minus
plus 10 plus
31. Plus 10 plus what's his challenge?
12.
Plus
Plus
12.
12. Oh, yeah.
Negative 8. Is he down significantly down on hits? Gray. 92 hits out of 122, roughly. Is that less than 75? Actually, what I'm talking.
No, that's over.
He's actually at negative 8, so I'm afraid he doesn't make it 5. Gray, you take another 10 hits. He's on 82 hits. And then that's it. Not affected Mithan, not affected Tarquin. Next is Etienne. What do you do, Etienne?
So, unclear. I want to repel undead 5.
Yep.
The spell doesn't. It gives an area effect that varies. Range is 100 feet.
Okay. Yep. Cool.
But I don't know the exact. Yeah. So the range is 100 feet. Area of effect can vary. I guess he'd take the. Well, I mean, if it's, he would take the area, down to the end of the corridor one way and inside the room.
Okay. So now I've been looking at this for other reasons. So you need to roll on something called the base attack table. There is if you have a static target, it's plus 10. If you have partial cover, it's negative 10. If you have full cover, which the notes are detected but not sighted, it's negative 20. So you are aware that there are adversaries, unseen adversaries in this area within 100 foot. I think the fairest thing to do is to apply a negative 20 to this roll.
On all of them,
Yes.
even the ones that might be near.
Yes. Well, you can't see them. You don't know where they are. So you don't get a static target, which is plus 10, because you can't see it. You don't know if they have partial cover, but you have detected that there is something bad here, but you have not sighted them. So exactly that result. So this result will be at negative 20.
All right.
Okay. Now you're
Yeah, that's not going to be good enough, then, is it? Because I need to roll high to get rid of them, mate, because they've got a resistance roll, right? Or
Correct.
Does my roll affect their resistance roll?
I'll show you how it works. So let me do this. Just take me 1 second to pull this up. So the way it works is, and these screens have operated in the same way. Spell Lord. Cool. Can you see this?
Yeah.
Cool. So on any, if you're striking with a shock bolt or like a physical attack, you would strike on a table that looks like this, very similar to a weapon table, right? For an attacking spell that doesn't do this type of physical damage, and for example the attacks that you've all been under with these shrieks, you roll on this table here. Actually realised I've been doing the wrong. Anyway, that's my bad. Base spell attack table. So whoever's making the roll makes this roll. Depending on what their adversary is wearing, they roll on this column. There are modifications for range, and there are modifications for your base spell attack, if you get base spells. Any items that might help. Some races get bonuses. As I mentioned before, full cover, negative 20. Detected but not sighted. Negative 10. Etc. And then the range as above. What this result means, what these results mean, is a negative to their resistance roll. So if you roll high here, and you roll really well, if you rolled a 99, they would have a negative 100 to their resistance roll. If you rolled really poorly, and you rolled something like a 1, 2, 3, 4, that would be an automatic fail. But if you rolled a 5 or a 6 or an 8 with the final result, they would get a plus 70 to their resistance roll. So two rolls. The first one is to see how well you roll, and that determines their the baddies, what their modifier is. So with the previous attacks on you guys with the shrieking, they have rolled around here or different places, and if they have rolled high, and in one case they rolled very high, you've had to, some of your characters have had negative, so it's been harder to make the resistance roll. In some cases, it's been very easy to make the resistance roll because they've rolled poorly. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Strikes me as it's quite an important role, really.
Could be a very, very important roll. So no pressure. You have prepared 3 rounds.
It's a bit of a death trap, isn't it, really? I don't see any other way out of this, to be honest. I think we're buggered, unless I can, yeah. This is a bit of a... If the author's listening, they're off my Christmas card list. Let's have a go. Okay, this is to cast the spell, or to... No, I've got to transcend...
You do have to transcend armor first, yes. Oh, have you cast a spell today?
Yeah.
Okay, so what was the roll for the transcend?
87.
So that it does transcend armor. Now you want the same kind of roll on the attack roll. No pressure, Graham.
95.
95, the man says. Excellent.
Roll up?
No, not on this, unfortunately. Just to show you. But that is what they have on their resistance. So that's a good roll. This table only goes up to 100. See, they're unmodified. But
Right.
nice roll. That was a very important roll, and that was a nice roll. Okay. So, critical question. Well, hang on. Let's just do the modifiers on this. It was a 95 was the roll. It wasn't unmodified. You get plus 20 to the roll. You can't actually go above that, but it might go down. Any negative modifiers on Etienne? Anything on, has he lost hits, for example? Has he had any kind of penalty or anything
No.
like that? Okay, so he's not down. So that will be the total result there. Okay, cool. So you are level
8.
8, correct? Your adversaries are that level. They need to beat. Okay. How many levels does this affect, please?
5. 5. It's number 5.
Number.
But that's class level 5, class 2, level 13, 15, class 5. Oh no. Class 5, level 13 to 15. Is that right?
No. What spell is it? What's it called?
Repel Undead 5.
And it's what spell list is it?
Exorcisms.
Shit. It's coming. No. Hang on. I'm going to go to his character sheet. That's probably the fastest. Graham, do you have your spell list handy that you can share?
Yep.
Because I don't seem to think about it. There's a whole bunch that I need to check. Different repel undeads work in different ways. I've got his level, but I don't have his spell lists.
Is the GM, can't you just say it's ultimately effective, repels them completely, and we can move on? I'd be good with that.
Yeah, I thought you'd like that. Have you got
It's
it,
in
Graham?
the main game chat. It's in the main game chat.
Main game? Cool. Okay. And which one are you casting?
5.
5.
Maximum I can do.
Yep. Right. All undead have a class assigned to them. This will affect one of the undead. Yep, 1 point. Yeah, great. 5 points. Okay, cool. That's what I needed to know. Thank you. Jot that down. It is. Ooh. Okay, cool. We'll go with that. Excellent. Okay, sorry about the delay. So, what's the effect of the spell if they fail?
They flee.
Yep.
If they flee by more than 50, they disintegrate.
Got it. Okay. Got it.
So yeah,
Got it. Cool.
let's hope for the best because
Well,
I
you-
can't see another way out of this.
You rolled
I've got ideas.
rolled really well. Okay. Etienne, you cast your spell. Is there a appropriate one to do? Nature spell, music spell. Let's go with this one. And you hear a shriek, couple of shrieks, maybe 3 shrieks, small, kind of quite pitiful. That's it. Next. GM just needs to excuse me one.
Good job, Graham.
Well, that's not good enough, though, is it? Really?
Well, we're down. If we're taking that to be 3 of them are fleeing or
Every little
disintegrating.
helps.
Absolutely.
Yeah, every little helps.
This is a bit of a bastard. This really. It's sort of designed to kill, isn't it? This scenario.
Does Leif need to go and see if the magnet is still working? It might stop after one thing, because otherwise, how do you get into that
Yeah.
room?
That's right.
You could try.
Is it an actual magnet? Doesn't he have to? She doesn't wear armor, does she? Or is it like a person magnet?
Any metal. She was wearing an amulet, and that was enough. You know.
Jesus.
Oh, really?
It ripped her
Just
strap
pull the entire person off the roof.
straight off her. Off her feet, through a door into it.
Yeah. It's magic. It's magic rather than a
yes.
magnet. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Yes, it's a person
You
sucker.
might have done it if it was. You would have thought an armor would be a problem, but maybe let anyway.
Maybe don't send Etienne through.
No,
Yeah.
I was wondering whether we should all get in that. I mean, he'll rinse and repeat, right? He'll do exactly the same thing, but it's going to take him another 2 rounds to prepare.
The
I
little
reckon-
room is problematic because every time you fail a Constitution roll, it'll knock down your actual Constitution. So it actually permanently reduces your hit points.
I think that was just because you had seen them, right?
I mean, I don't know why we didn't.
Proximity one to the zombie men. I reckon that one is.
Just
Nice.
after you cast that spell, Etienne.
Yeah.
Terrible noise. This time further down here ish, but it is going to affect all characters. Okay, that was the roll. Okay, bang on. All right. All right. So first off. Rinse and repeat, Leif. You need to beat a. You're a 9th level, was that right? Yes.
Correct.
Yep.
Correct.
47.
Oh, sorry, my roll's not working. Yep. Just checking on his hits. No, he's good.
Okay.
He's good.
Keros, you need to beat a. You need to beat a 41. It's taking into consideration your channeling resistance roll, the +10 from Etienne, and your hit points. You are now on less than 50. Are you?
No, I've got
No,
half
you're
a
not.
point.
So you're at -10. So -10 for your hits,
Okay.
+10 for Etienne, and then you're channeling. You need to beat a 41. Now,
79 was the roll.
You're
Yep.
fine. Absolutely fine. Etienne, for you are 8th level. Taking into consideration any hit points, etc., and your channeling, you need to beat a 50. No, sorry, take that back. Better news for you, you need to beat a 35.
Yep.
35, cool. Demos, you need to beat a 50. Minus your 100. Hello, Demos. How did it go, Giles?
Sorry, I'm being brain dead. No, he's failed.
Failed. Demos, you are on 7 hit points.
Oh dear. I guess he'd be like sitting on the ground and slumped and obviously not looking well, right?
He's probably still on his. Up to you. He's still on his feet, but not great. Gray is 8th level. Gray, take into consideration that you're now on 82 out of your 122 hits. You need to beat a 50.
$50.
50 was the result, including the +10.
No. 60.
Oh, okay. Success. Gray's okay. Mythan, you need to beat, taking hits into account, Etienne's +10, etc. You need to beat a 44, please. Sorry?
-10 +10, quick cancel it out. Yes, yeah, she makes it.
Cool. Tarquin, you're at -25, and also you're on 69 out of your 75 hit points. You are level 9. You need to beat a 47, please.
No problem.
Cool. Next. That is the end of a very, very long round. Keros, you had an opportunity action, which you could, of course, act at any time, I should have said. Is there anything that Keros did with her bolt? Or whatever she was doing? Keros still... Oh, no. Keros is gone. Where's Keros gone?
She was restarting.
Okay.
Then she was back for a while, and then off again.
I'll just go check on her. How's it goes? See if she needs some technical support. 1 second.
So have we got anything else we can do other than just Etienne prepare for 2 more rounds and cast again?
I think get Demos into the. Oh, Giles is on the phone.
Because is Tarquin getting hit by these streaks?
He's been hit
Yes,
by a couple.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
So some of them reach into that room. Yes.
it would make sense to get to the back of that room, I would suggest. If there's nothing else we can do, have we actually secured an attack on any of these?
Yes, Mythan hit a Shrieker.
What with Pete?
Sorry?
What with what?
With a magical broadsword.
Okay, so the wood wall has proved ineffective in stopping them attacking us, right?
No. The wood wall is blocking the zombies. That's been successful.
They
It's
can't
the
see us,
Shriekers.
so they can't cast their nasty spells. Apart from, I think that what Tarquin had was a radius spell. So I think that he was too close to them, which is what sort of and that's why once he's moved away, it hasn't happened again, right?
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
So we think the 5 invisible zombies aren't the same thing as those 5 undead creatures.
No, the
No,
undead's
they're
with the,
definitely different.
the shriekers that are.
So if you've got a magical weapon, you just got to keep your eyes peeled and try and attack it. So we don't really know where they are. That's the trouble.
Or try
guess-
Leif's tactic of
Just perceiving and hitting.
yeah.
Well, Lath perceived, found one, and hit it and did no damage, right?
I don't know. He might have buckled up his perception roll.
I just think we've got to run away. I can't see how we can defeat these things.
Well, the thing is, we'd have to run past the zombies, won't we?
Oh, I know. So Tarquin has no spells that'll help. Demos has no spells, period.
So Alex looks like it's back. She's back with us. For some reason, we are having weird internet things at home. We're not getting connectivity downstairs. So, Alex, can you hear us? She's back, but it's just, okay.
Cool.
Yeah, we just having internet issues. It's bizarre, really bizarre. All right, round 2. Let's see what happens. Rolling initiative. First to act again is Grey.
All right. Well, Gray will, with his axe out, he can't do anything else but perceive, and if he sees something, hit it.
Okay, cool. Could you give me a passive perception too?
26
6.
plus.
No, it's good. It's good. It's okay. So give me the non-passive perception. In other words, actually actively looking, listening for something. Give me a roll, please.
95.
5. Cool. And what's his perception?
49.
49. Gray, you don't see or hear or feel or smell anything, right?
Has he got? If he's not been able to do anything, can he move down the corridor? In terms of where these shrieks are coming from, do I have any sense?
Hard to say. Some are maybe around here-ish or here-ish. There were initially some around here, but that hasn't. You haven't heard those initially. They're kind of really hard to say. They're kind of here-ish maybe or there-ish. I mean, they're moving. They're definitely not always static in the same place. So, yeah, really hard to say.
Well, he'll move past Demos.
Okay.
And encourage Demos to go and take cover in the room. How many hits is? So I mean, no. That's all he can do is rinse and repeat that.
Okay. So pushes part. You can really only push past one person in a round. It's pretty awkward. It's pretty hard to kind of squeeze past. You push past Demos. He is looking awful, great, and Gray moves to there.
Your Gray urges him to go to the far end of the small room.
Next is Leif.
Same as last time. So he'd like to perceive when there's a shriek and attack if he can. If he hasn't perceived by the end of the round, he will just attack. He'll choose a place to attack.
Okay. Tarquin, just check. Just want to check something. So this. Okay. Yet again, Tarquin. Same situation for you again. You haven't managed to get out of this awful cold, and I'd like you to make the same roll as you did last time. It is you have to roll a hang on a second. You're at negative 25 to this, unfortunately.
So is this a channeling resistance
It's
roll?
it's a channeling resistance roll. That's right.
Just tell me the number I need to get over.
Yeah, I'm just getting there. Just a second.
Sorry.
Okay, and he is 9th level. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. 4. Right. That's my issue. Yeah. That's it. And it was, sorry, 9th. 9th, correct? 9th?
Correct.
Yep. 64. He's got to beat 64.
He does not do that.
Does not do that. He takes another 4 of his precious hit points, and also 4 more. So he's now on 65 temporary hit points, and he's now. Oh, sorry, no. You've got to roll 1d4. Sorry, 1d4. Let's see how many he takes. You want a 1.
2.
2. He takes 2. He's on 67 temporary hit points, and his maximum goes down to 73 total hit points. His life energy is just being pulled out of him. Quite horrible. You can act, Tuck. You've prepared 1 round.
Oh, he's going to prepare another round and move 7 feet further away.
Cool. Get some kind of hearish. Okay.
Yeah, probably back towards the wall, actually, Chris, if it's possible.
That
Is that a pillar in the middle of the other wall? Sorry.
Yep. That's a pillar. That is a pillar.
Yeah, so you don't have kind of behind the pillar. Yep. Thank you.
Okay, and I just want to check something. No. Should. Okay. Next. There is this sickening crunch at the wooden wall, and the sound of splintering on the wooden wall. Something powerful and large has just hit it. And again, there is a terrible... No, it's not a terrible scream. Demos on 7 hits. What do you do?
So Demos, these slabs, are they just a solid slab of
Solid slab of stone, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so it doesn't look like a sarcophagus or anything.
No, it's not. It doesn't open. Well, not that you can see anyway. It just looks like a square slab, or rectangular slab of stone.
So he's going to bail into the little room, and he's going to try and wedge himself in the corner of the closet. Well, except is that a closety area?
Yeah. Yes, here.
Oh yeah, that's where he's going to go. Chris, nice.
Oops, wrong one, wrong character. Sorry, Greg. Demos shoves past a couple of characters and squeezes himself very tight. Yeah, let's shrink.
Thank you. And obviously he's going to... Ooh, look at that. Make himself smaller. He's going to just make sure... He knows he's close to, like, passing out. He's going to make sure that if he does pass out, he doesn't, fall on a spear or stab himself or something.
Okay, done.
Done.
Mython.
Mythan would like to move out into the... go alongside Grey and do the same thing that Grey and Leif are doing. So perception roll and attack. If...
Okay.
Yeah.
So could you give me passive perception, actually, as well? Oh, and Demos, I should have asked for a passive perception from you too, please.
You go first, Demos?
Yeah, if you don't mind. Let's roll Demos. Hello, Giles.
Sorry.
Right.
Yeah, sorry. I keep thinking grade. Waiting quietly for 81. And
81. Okay,
he's
cool.
50.
Yep, thank you. So Mythar moves out here and does what?
So she's... does she roll a passive perception?
Yes, she does, please.
A 3.
It could be amazing.
Oh, good.
Okay. It wasn't, but it could be.
Well.
Oh,
good to know. She will do the wait for the shriek to give her a cue on where to look specifically.
Yes.
And attack. And if she hasn't found, if there hasn't been a shriek by the end of the round, she will just choose a place to attack.
Okay, sure. Done.
Similar to Leif.
Cool, done. Keros.
Again, she'll just do a perception and then hold.
Okay. And a passive perception, please, as well, I should say.
Okay, so do you want me to do the passive one first?
Yes, please. Yep.
68. And her
Yep.
other
And just,
one is... Yep.
Yep, yeah, give me a roll. Your other one.
100. I don't know if I rolled that right though again. Let me do that again. I think it's the keyboard. $53
50.
plus, what was she, 35 I think? Yeah, 35.
Okay. Some information coming into your chat, Keros. So why am I looking at Etienne spells? There we go. Going to change the screen so we keep it secret. Going to Keros. Information in your chat now.
And can she share that?
What's she going?
So she will say something above me.
Okay. Okay. Anything? So she's looked for 10%. She said something above me, which is your free 3 words. Anything else for
Yeah.
the remainder of her round? 70%.
I guess she could attack the thin air, but I don't think she's got nothing.
She can't with the spell, because the spell is a 75% action.
Yeah, and perception's 10, right?
Oh, did you do a 10%, did you? I thought you did a 30. Okay. No, you did a 10 last time. You're right. Okay. So yes, she
But I
does
don't
have...
think I've got anything to... I've got nothing to attack with, I don't think, because I did... Did you say there was an ice... Last game, there was a, she tried an ice spell?
Last game she tried, and sorry, I
Yep,
forgot
jump.
to say this.
Yep.
She tried an ice bolt and a shock bolt, both, at where she
Oh.
thought something was, but I don't know.
You
She
may have
didn't
missed.
see. Yeah, she wasn't. She was just firing into space.
Oh, maybe she... Should she have another go? What's above her? Is there a ceiling?
Yeah, there's a ceiling about another 7 or so foot above her.
If she fires a bolt, is she going to bring the ceiling down, do you reckon?
Don't know. Let's find out.
Oh, I don't know if I want to bring the ceiling down on people.
Go on. May as well.
Oh, Graham's given me the go ahead. Alright, she might just, where she felt the movement above her,
Give me a roll. Sure.
she will fire a ice bolt, please.
Ice baby. Give me a roll, please. This is
Am I going to
no
bring the whole...
no prep, but she gets +0 to this.
Oh, there goes my internet. Can you hear me?
Yes, still there. Yep, still can hear you. Hello? Oh, for goodness sake.
I'm just going to roll. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, can hear you.
I can't even roll.
Yes, can hear
I'm
you.
going to log out.
Can hear you. Hang on. And I'm going to go down and see Alex goes.
Sure thing. Here, Alex. Yeah, sorry, we could try an area effect. If someone could say to Alex, hey, Leif will move, if I figure out where 20 foot is, does an area of effect spell that should catch some, maybe?
Yeah, sure.
Bastards. that's if magic effects. Because for some reason I assumed that they
Would she
didn't
be better
move.
off going at the end of the road?
Sorry?
Would she be going off better off being where Leif is? Because
Yeah, well, no, if Leif moves past her, no, next round he'll say, hey, can you cold ball this into the hallway? And yeah, and if he moves past her, and if whoever that is, Etienne moves, we all bunch to that other end.
Yeah.
To the small room end, we could, and she fires it with 20-foot radius. Who knows?
yeah,
With
he's
the code.
preparing.
No.
He'll shuffle.
It's 53.
luck.
Was the 53 that Alex rolled, was that for perception? Yes, it was. So I'm going to ask Alex to do something unprecedented. She's going to come into the GM's room, and she is going to roll in person, and she can read out the result. Here we go.
Hi, Alex.
Oh, hello. Oh, gosh. Thank you, John. I don't know what's going on with the internet, sorry. So I'm going to roll my new cat dice.
Oh,
Yeah, they've got cats all over them. So I need that one, and where's the one? Okay, rolling cat dice.
oh, Keros.
43. 43.
So you guys can hear me. Alex can hear me. I'm going to ask Alex to avert her eyes so she doesn't see my combat software. It was a roll of a 43. Don't.
I'm not looking.
Okay. So 43 for Keros on that baddie. You're
I'm not looking.
You are!
I'm not looking.
Alright, it was a roll of a 43. She's at -10 because of her hits. 43, and she's using an ice bolt. Is that right? Okay.
10.
Plus 10 from Graham, which cancels that out. And she's just firing blind. So she points her hand up at the ceiling, blasts away. There is a blast of energy, which sounds like, not that Alex can hear it. Oops. Boofa, and part of the ceiling just goes very, very icy and very, very cold. What does the camera see? Can the camera actually see you here? Yes, the camera can see you. There you go. We'll go large screen just for a second, just for our viewers' pleasure. You want to say hello? There you go. And does the ceiling come down? Let's find out. High roll is good for you, low roll is bad for you. 70. No, the ceiling seems fine. I think that's going to have to be your turn. No damage. You obviously can't hear what's going on. I don't know what's going on with the internet, but give it a go to get back on. There we go. The real world intrudes in the gaming world for a second. So Keros blasts up at the ceiling, and there's ice crystals kind of floating down. Next up is Etienne.
So he's preparing, and he'll, with anything left, he'll shuffle down Mithan.
Shuffle. Yep, it's still out there. Okay. And that was the last person in the round. Into the round.
Cool.
There
so
was
Mithan and Leif's attacks.
Sure.
Random attacks.
Yep.
Um,
So just swinging blindly. Where's
Leif
Yep.
will go for above Kiros's. Hang on a minute. Yeah, Leif will go for above Kiros's head. That's where she said she saw something.
You're going to swing a sword above Keros's head.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
roll.
he's not going to hit her.
Okay, give me a roll.
Well, that's where she said she saw something, and he, or maybe hang on a second. No, he was going to do a 30% perception. That's what he's going to do.
Okay, give me a roll.
So he hasn't had a shriek to guide him to where to look, but at least he can.
Yep.
Hope it's masked, because that's a
It
1.
is. It is masked. It is definitely masked. What's his perception?
57.
Yeah. So, Leif, you also felt something, a breath or movement, moving somewhat quickly past you, slightly above. You think there might be something roughly where you struck last time, actually. A bit above you, so you have to lean up a bit, and try with your longsword.
Yep, I'd like to do that, please.
Oh, give me a roll.
Going to do a 60% attack. Oh, 81. Happy with that.
81. Yep. Oops. And what's the percentage? What should
60% is 71.
71?
Attack. Plus 10.
Yep. Does he have any minuses because of lack of hits? So it's not
No.
not in my software, so no, you're good. Amazingly, your sword in thin air connects with something. So basically, fighting blind here. but incredibly, you're hang on, minus 25 because you're using a longsword in
True.
in
That's right.
in close confines. Sorry.
Plus 10.
We've added the plus 10, thank you.
25. No, sorry. That did it. Swung into the air, missed. Didn't connect with anything.
So, I felt so close.
Yeah. I'm sure that nearly did it.
Yeah. He's got 10% action left, so
Yep.
I can move. Move 12 foot.
Yep.
He'll go past Kiros, and with his 3 words, he'll say, and it's a question. He's not telling her what to do. He would never dare to tell her what to do. He will point towards the ear of the end of the corridor he's just left, and he'll say, "Cold pool."
Okay. Cool. Done. And then Mithun is doing something as well.
Exactly the same. 30% perception, please, and she will. Yeah. Oopsies, that's not right. 100. 39 for her perception roll.
39. Cool. She doesn't see or hear anything or feel anything.
She'll just wave her sword around.
Give me a roll, please.
She'll want to thrust into the nook because that's where she had luck last time.
Yeah, sure.
Yep. Or is it
no, it's getting a bit.
squishy?
Not really. It is getting a bit squishy.
Yep. So she'll be at negative 25 because she's got a broadsword. What are the chances of her actually damaging someone else? Doesn't want to. She'll not aim for them. What's the?
She can't. I'm going to say it's too close to that. She can't get access to the.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, I mean just in general. If she's just making an attack outside.
She can stab up in the air or whatever she likes.
Okay, but she's not. So she's not at risk of hurting someone by doing that, and hardly at risk of hitting anything. But she'll have a go unless she.
Yep.
Yeah, no, 37. I assume that's a nothing.
37. That is a nothing.
Cool.
No, nothing. And there's no one else opportunity action, I don't think. I'm just going to go and give Alex one more hand with internet, guys. This is really annoying. Back in a second.
So close, so close.
Yeah, so that's 2 good things to do, I guess. Wide splay of attack and exorcisms.
I like the fire ice ball idea.
Do we all keep shuffling backwards?
Yeah. I would think, and we're keen to. We can all. Yeah, I think we keep shuffling backwards. Especially if Kiros is going to do an ice ball, so it's 20-foot radius, so she has to figure out where she aims at.
Backwards, you mean towards Neathanol?
No.
No.
Yeah, okay.
Well, if we find cold ball is effective, now my contention would be if she connects with cold, won't that frost them up?
We can see them.
So we could pose that question. We'll just who knows?
Anything there to freeze, right?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. It might be
or is it a statement?
Well,
no, maybe an absence of frost somewhere.
Who knows? I mean, but yeah, her other attacks, she's got a high attack bonus, and I think she struck at those nooks just after the things had stood up. So my point is, I had her attack them, feeling quite certain that the things were still there, because with that attack, right? And it did nothing. So maybe her magic is not effective against these creatures. Is the other thing. So we'll just, who knows?
Alex is trying a reset. That is the end of that round. Next round is rolling initiative. We're off. One of you guys, I'm not sure which one of you, but the machine rolled 20 for one of you, which is good. I didn't see who. Gray again wins initiative.
So he's gonna do three things.
Mhm.
He's gonna shuffle down the corridor. He's gonna perceive over the course of the round, and if he feels something, he'll hack it with his axe.
Okay. Shuffle down the corridor where?
Is someone in front of him?
Mithan's I'm
Right.
conscious that you're not looking at the screen, but yeah, Mithan's in front of him on the way up the stairs. Etienne's directly behind him.
If Mithan should move,
Yep.
he would follow.
Yep.
Otherwise, perceiving, if he gets in the round he hasn't perceived anything, might just hack it in one of the alcoves or something that he's next to.
So he's
and
not
then move.
not shuffling down the corridor.
Oh yeah, he's shuffling down the corridor. Yeah, just a shuffle. It doesn't have to be too far.
Okay, so I don't know where he's going.
Okay.
What direction?
Towards the little room. So where Mithan stands now, from there.
So he passes Mithan.
No, his opportunity action.
Okay.
And he'll for the rest. So he's got that move that he wants to do. If Mithan moves, if Mithan doesn't move, he won't move.
Okay, thank you.
And he will use the rest of his turn to perceive and hack.
Okay, great. Okay, well in that case, give me a perception roll. And a passive perception too.
29.
We'll use that for the passive perception.
And
Okay.
98.
And 98 for him actually actively kind of looking around. Okay, cool. Okay, great. He doesn't see, hear, or feel anything. Doesn't do anything. Okay.
No, well, he'll swing if he doesn't.
Just not clear. I know he wants to move if Mythar moves, but I'm not clear any other action that he does. That's all.
I didn't realise I was muted.
Ah.
He'll just swing his axe across the alcove for the hell of it.
Okay, sure. Give me a roll.
$29.
29. Okay. Slashes around. Doesn't seem to connect with anything. Next is Leif. Leif, you've pushed past Keros. You've said something about Coldball to her. What do you do, Leif? Oh, and passive perception for you too.
Passive perception for him.
Mhm.
Oh, 29 as well.
29
Oh no,
is-
it's 49. 49.
49 as well. Okay, cool. What does he do?
He will do same as. Yes, he will move back, and he will do same as last time.
Move back.
So he will move towards Etienne. Give Keros more room if she needs it, and will, if there's a streak, he will want to try and perceive where it is,
Mhm.
and would then attack it. If by the end of the round there hasn't been, he will. If everyone else has moved, he would move with them, or he will do an attack.
A lot of ifs and buts in there, but I think I got that. Okay. Mithan.
She will. She will move back into the room.
Okay.
Please. All the way back to the back.
Okay.
Oh,
Where?
she will also say they're breaking the wall. That's what she would also say.
Okay. Just one thing to
Where does she move to?
She'd like to move to stand in the door of the cupboard.
Be a little bit awkward to move the counter, but let's see what we can.
Yeah, little Mythan.
Little Mythan, there we go. Oh, no.
Awesome, thank you.
Yep. Okay.
And could you perceive, because I don't think that took her thing, could you do a perception, please?
Yep.
And so, sorry, I better figure out how much her movement was, because she'd like to spend the rest of her perception on her action on perception.
Okay.
So she moved. How far did she move, please?
Oh, she moved negligible. 12 foot.
Cool. Well, then she'd like to do a 90. Well, make an 80% perception, please.
Yep. Give me a roll, please.
As she was moving, sort
Yep.
of thing. Yep. 55.
5. Cool. Okay. She doesn't see or hear anything particularly as she moves through, but just after she gets here, there is a colossal smash wooden wall, and again the splintering sound. Something big and nasty is trying to smash its way through. Something heavy. That's her turn.
Cool.
There is yet again horrible, but now very familiar screech. Oh. Gonna go down the line, starting with Keros, and we're just gonna go down and do this. Interesting. Oh, I guess we do that like that. Okay. Keros, you have to, bearing in mind you are now at a negative due to your hits, you have to, and it looks like you are back with us, I hope you are, you have to beat a negative 4. So, in negative 4 hits, negative 10, plus the positive 10 for Etienne, cancels out, and then your channeling, please. Are you with us, Keros?
Yep.
Great. Yay!
61.
61. Keros, you are just fine. No issues for you. Moving down the line is Leif. And level 9. You've got to beat, with all of the modifications, you've got to beat a 2. I usually do the modifications one-on-one, but when it's like this, it's probably just easier for you guys to do it.
Yep. He rolled a 74.
74, yep. He is fine. Next one down is Etienne. Now, Etienne, different for you. You are unaffected. Oh, that's really interesting. If I roll a 0, the game is weird. No, okay. Okay. Okay, we'll go down. Next is Grey. And modified by Grey, you need to roll a 5 or better, please, Graham.
Yep.
Negatives for hits, positives for Etienne, channeling.
Yeah, good.
Okay. Next is Mython. You need to roll the same. Your 9th level. 10th level. You need to roll the same as Keros, so better than a -2.
Yep.
Okay. Tarquin, you're at -. Tarquin, you're at -25, of course. Modified +10 for Etienne, plus your channeling. Your level
Yeah. Oops.
level 9.
Correct.
You need to roll better than a 2. It's good. All good. Cool. And then lastly, Demos, who's at -100, is 8. 8. And Demos, you need to roll better than a 5. Can you do it with your -100?
Minus 101.
Yep. Plus his channeling. Plus Etienne's.
No, he cannot.
Cannot. Demos, you take another 10 hits, and you pass
Sweet.
into consciousness.
So presumably he just takes 7 hits because that's all he has.
Correct. No. He doesn't. He goes
So
down.
-3.
Yep.
Okay.
Oops. And you pass out. Demos, you're on the ground.
He can't hear the shrieking when he's passed out.
True.
So
He
he's
can't.
He's always a positive reframe.
Yep. Let's just see how that works out. Next is would have been Demos to act. Again, there's more smashing and beating on the wall. Crunch. Etienne is next to act. Etienne, you've prepared 1 round, I believe.
Yeah. We'll prepare another round. Has Grey moved on because Nibthan moved?
Yeah. Yes, I guess he has. Where did Grey move to?
Probably still in the corridor, but in the corner. Well, no, he can actually move. No, if he moves into the room, how far can he? If he moves through the doorway into the smaller room, how far could he go?
Oh, you tell me. Based on and realize it's not your character, but I think he perceived, and so how much movement does he have left?
He can move 55. Perception.
Oh, he's fine. He's fine. If you move, yep. So where does he go? With that amount of movement, he's okay.
Oh, well inside the room, I think. Yeah, over the far side. And I think he would, or the other side of Tarquin, just squeezed in right next to him. Maybe a small Grey.
Okay, done. So Etienne, can I ask for a passive perception from you, please?
49.
49.
Plus 20.
Yep. Cool. And what does he do? This round.
He's gonna prepare and shuffle.
Okay. It's down to, let's say, about there. Oh no. Okay, Alex has just joined me in the room. But you're still on screen. First time ever. Do you want to say hi to the camera? We've actually got a guest player in the room. Do you want to wave at the camera? There we go. There's our guest player sitting in the corner of the room, and the GM might have some tech support to do later in the game. So, Alex, you're only going to get half the story, of course, because you can. Yeah, okay, because you can't hear anything on there anyway. How utterly ridiculous and how really weird. Okay. Where did we get up to? Etienne had just moved down. Next up is there is yet again for the second time this round another horrendous noise. Play it again. Interesting. This time, however, for all of you, you all hear the noise, but there's something about it that just isn't as painful. It was slightly off, or maybe the pitch was slightly unusual, or something happened. But you do not, none of you, take any damage. Consider yourselves lucky. Next is Keros. Keros.
Did Keros hear the conversations that have been happening?
In part, this is kind of weird because I'm translating between two. Did Keros hear some of the conversations that have been happening? What in particular were you referring to, Graham?
I think one of the characters urged her to cold ball down the end of the corridor.
Right. One of the characters urged you to cold ball down the end of the corridor. She wants to do that? Okay. So, there's a range. Keros' question was, is there anybody in the way? This goes out 20 foot. Is that the... Keros is just coming up with the description of the spell.
It's on main screen, Chris. Like big picture.
Oh, you are too. Sorry. Thank you. Radius area. 20 foot. So, if Keros wanted to cast the spell, the end of the wall, where she is currently 28 foot away, so you could cast it down here, Keros, and it would explode between you, and you can see on screen, between you and the very far wall, this wall here, is 28 foot away. So your call, you've got a play of 8 foot. So that's 20 foot to there. So basically the corner of that, where you're currently standing, so the corner of that black chunk of stone is 20 foot. So Alex is asking what's the reason why she's casting that spell.
Area of effect. So it's a spray. So you don't it's
area
not aimed, right? So you've got it's going to spray out in 20 foot from the radius.
Area of yeah, got it, Graham. I'll pass it on. Area of effect, so it sprays out in a ball. That's it. But why? Alex is asking if there's something there. No, you haven't heard anything there. Can you have a conversation?
Sorry, why am I doing?
Because we can't at the moment we can't aim at anything because we don't know where we can't see these creatures anywhere, right? So the idea is if you took a step backwards and fly back.
It's not working. It's not working. She took the headphones off. She's breaking all technology. Oh no.
Hello?
Oh,
hello.
I can hear you.
Oh my
Can you hear us?
goodness. Yes. God,
Yes,
tech
the idea
problems.
is that we can't see where the creatures are, right? So if you cold ball is a big area of effect, right?
Yep.
So if you took a step backwards towards the lathe,
Yep.
and then fired down the end of the corridor, preferably if you can make it so it might affect round the corner too potentially, and then you'd be spraying right down the hall 20 feet and leftwards down that hall too.
Yep.
But so you'd have to take a step back and put the radius just ahead of that sarcophagus.
Okay, so we want it to just 20 feet from and just around the corner.
You need to step back. So
Okay.
straight down the corridor in front of the sarcophagus, you're going to need to step back as you get hit by the spray. Just make sure you're 20 foot away.
So the reason for doing it makes sense, Alex, just because we can't target, this should catch them in its damage.
Okay. So
in the area.
The distance from where I'm standing right now to the end of that hallway is 28.
So you need to step backwards.
So where do you want the 20 to be? At the corner?
I reckon you step back towards Leif.
Yep.
And you aim on the side of the wall 20 foot from you. So it captures above where you were. So because we want to take as much of this corridor in, because I think they're nearer to us than away. I reckon. Or did you want to? We'll go around the corner somewhat. Okay. But does that make sense? So I'd aim it. So you're going to be outside of the 20 foot, but all in front of you. But you take as much of that corridor. So from just in front of you, it should be the 20 foot should start from just in front of you.
Okay.
And it should reach the roof too, right? The roof is only 7 feet above us, so it's going to get the roof, the walls, around the corner, but not us.
Yep. Okay.
If you did it down the end of the corridor, you see it left down the corridor as well?
Yes, around the corner.
But that would mean that anything directly above Kiros as she is now would be out of the effect.
Yeah, but she'll be in the effect, won't she?
She steps back. Back first, and anyway, Chris is. We're stopping. Your call, I reckon, Alex.
Okay.
I think Chris is wanting us to stop.
Okay,
So
perfect. Yeah. So I'm going to.
Funny old game.
Yep. Yep. She steps back. Took about coaching the witness, but yep. Okay. Yes. Yep. So like there. 17. Okay, so sure. So the area of effect is 20 foot. So 20 foot is from there, and it would cover that area of effect. So your plan is to launch from there. It'll go down the corridor. You're hoping, and it will go up into the ceiling, and not hitting you. Yep, got it. Okay, so this is a very weird way to play, but that's how we're going to go. Keros, you haven't prepared, but because of your backgrounds, you get a +0 to this roll. You've got your dice in front of you, the real dice. I'm going to get them, and this is such a bizarre way to play, and I'm sorry, gentle listeners and gentle viewers, we are clearly having technical issues at home. Thank you for players' patience as well. Okay, so you're going to launch a cold ball down the corridor. Give me your roll, please. 47 is the roll. The roll is a 47, so it's not a failure. And we are going for... Okay. Just take me a second to set this up. Just take me a second to set it up. Keros on... It's a cold ball. Coming. Cold ball. What is your base spells, please, Keros? Should be your level, I think. So +10. Yep. So 10. And then plus 10 for Etienne, negative 10 because of your hit points, so they cancel each other out. And what else am I doing? And the actual roll was a 46? 47. 47. Boomfire. So there is this blast of cold from Keros. Sound effects. And right around here, 20 foot out, is just the spray of vicious ice just being cast. And Keros, I am happy to report that you get, firstly, well, at least 1 9 in an A cold. Roll the cold crit, please. $69. 69 dudes. 69. Smash. You do another 10 hits. Sorry? Just put it down as number 1, but you don't know the level yet. Bang. So you definitely, not that your character necessarily knows this, but you definitely hit 1. And then give me, let's just see. Yeah. Give me a, no. Give me another, no, I'll do this one for you. So the total was 47 for your roll. It was a cold ball. Same result. 9 in an A. Roll the crit. Different foe this time. 95. Yep, the team likes that, Alex. Okay. Smack. So this blast of cold rockets around here. It dominates entirely this area here. Not that Keros knows that, but you have just scored 2 crits. Nice. This is such a bizarre way of playing. Giles, question.
So cold ball.
Yep.
Icy stuff everywhere. Can I just check? Do we see silhouettes of zombies or anything?
Well, your character.
Covered in ice, presumably, if they've been hit. So now they should be a visible target, maybe.
Well, your character doesn't because he's back in this room.
No. I appreciate that. Yep. So you can see down the corridor.
Keros, that was 75% action. Anything else you're doing? Can you, for 10%? Yeah, you can. What's 14 plus 35? Yeah, just for a second, and it only lasts a second as this blast of ice goes out, you see here, and about 10 foot up, so above your head, floating horizontally, the shape of a humanoid figure. You only catch a glimpse of them. They're horrific, like a skeletal, not a skeleton. They are a body, but they're emaciated and thin, with haunting, tortured eyes. They're looking at you, Keros, and you just get the outline of the figure as the ice kind of crystallizes around them, and then once the ice goes, that's it. But it was floating around here and moving in your direction, Keros. here. So imagine here. Figure was here, but up in the air. Sorry? You have words? Yep, 3 words. Oh no, you have more than 3 words because you only use 10% of perception. Keros barks out, "Flying dead people!" And points up. There we go. That's the end of Keros's round in a really weird way to roleplay a game. Some on screen, some off screen. Anyway, hopefully people are catching up with the story. I'm going to move in front of the camera, so I'm going to block you. I'm afraid. It's all right. And you get to look behind the scenes. All right. Just open up the printer software for some reason. Okay, moving on. That was Keros' turn. The next is right there. Ooh. No. Tarquin, your turn next. You're here.
Yeah, so. Yeah, look. Prep and hide, so he just wants to shuffle back as far as he can and prep for round number 3.
Okay, done. Yeah, another crunch at this wood wall. Thud! Something kind of sounds like big, meaty, and this time it's the thud is slightly different. There's kind of almost sounds like something's pulling on the wall. Something incredibly strong is pulling at the wall. That is the end of the rounds. Unless anybody was doing anything with opportunity actions. Nope, okay. Guys, it's just gone 10 past 1. Do we want to call it there and pick it up on Wednesday? Do we want to play on for another half an hour? What do we want to do?
Yeah, I'm going to have to go. Sorry, Chris, got to get back into the M.E.R.P.
Yeah, true. Yeah, no, I better call it too.
Cool.
Oh, 10th session.
Yes. Graham, you're right.
Yes.
We'll call it there. We'll call it there for the day. Sounds like.
Yep, that's all good.
Excellent. I want to say thank you, Chris, but
rolling credits, guys. I really had no idea how this one was going to go. And I'll be very curious to see what happens come Wednesday. Just switch out my music off. And thank you both players and also Alex, who's sitting behind me, for putting up with our weird tech issues. For some reason, our internet upstairs is fine, our internet downstairs is not. So it's struggling today. Thank you for the translation between using my headset. Neathanol was the winner of Vader last time. Neathanol, do you have a worthy candidate?
Yeah, Carrios for the cold ball.
Keros for the cold.
More of those, please.
More of those, please, from Graham. Okay. And can you come up with a title as well? No, you weren't there for half of it, but you can read it. Technical issues, right? There we go, guys. Switching the recording